Hi, welcome to another episode of EduWorld. In today's episode, we'll be talking about the third test which you'll be appearing for IELTS. So, whether you're writing IELTS paper based or IELTS computer based, or you're writing in the category of IELTS Academic or IELTS General, this particular test is going to be just similar as we have encountered with the IELTS reading test. So IELTS writing test is going to be of equal questions and equal types of answer you have to mention. Now, let's understand. Overall, the time period of IELTS writing is actually for 60 minutes, 60. Now, in this 60 minutes, you will be having two tasks to complete. Task 1, which is going to be a short essay, and task 2 is going to be a long essay. We'll come to that about in detail understanding what type of essay are they, what are the things that you have to write and how to write it out, okay? Before that, let's understand when we talk about IELTS writing, okay? There is a particular way that IELTS writing will be scored. So if you're planning to go ahead and get a better score, you must be concentrating yourself how you'll be covering all these criteria on which you will be getting judged by the examiner. So the first category on which you'll be judged, especially for IELTS writing, is that's called as task achievement. Now, what exactly is task achievement? Let's imagine that for a short essay, the first task, which is actually a 150 words essay. So you might be getting a graph, you might be getting a chart, mostly for academic. And if you're writing IELTS General, you'll be getting a normal formal letter you have to write, okay? It could be a formal or semi-formal letter, could be an application form, okay? Let's take an example. If you are attending the academic IELTS, you have to go ahead and answer a graph chart. To handle the graph chart, what we mean by task achieved is, as if you are describing this particular chart, you're writing it, and any random person, an unknown person is reading that particular description, and he or she is able to go ahead and prepare another similar chart. That is called as task achieved. So if your informations are clear, all the informations are covered from the chart that you have written for the task 1, that means that the task has been achieved. Similarly, when we are going for the task 2, which is actually a 250 words essay, which is ideally a particular statement or a particular survey that's been given it out. Let's say we got an example about how fossil fuels are hazardous for environmental safety. So in that, what happens? You have to customize the entire essay first, and then you'll be writing about, you'll be giving your opinion in that, your detailed information. Then you'll be also giving a conclusion. So there'll be an introduction, there'll be a middle body, and of course there'll be a conclusion. Now in all these, if you are adding the required information, then we can say the task has been achieved. So let's say you have written about it, about the topic, and someone else has read it, and they're able to describe the simple meaning of it, okay, in a simple fashion. That means the task is achieved. So you will be getting a score in this category. Second category on which you will be actually assessed is actually called coherence and cohesion. Now, what I call in a very simple fashion is, whatever you'll be writing, that answer should be in clear and fluent manner. It should be easy to understand. Another method is, there will be a heavy pressure on the structure of the particular writing. So if your essay is there, but it's not properly structured in the sense, there should be always an introductory or beginning, there should be always a descriptive or middle part, and there should be always an ending or conclusion. And each and every sentence that you're creating should be relevant and related to each other. So whoever is reading can make out, okay, this is the information about the introduction, that I get the basic knowledge about the topic. Second, in the body or the middle part, you'll be describing your points, so he knows a little more description about the particular topic. And the final, the ending or the conclusion part should detail about what exactly are the final finding, concluding it out, and your final point on that. So let's say if you're writing in the second task about an argument. So in the argument, you have given an introduction, then you have given your point, whether you're talking in favor of the argument or against the argument, and then finally you're giving a solution to that. Okay, so that's how exactly it has to be. So this is about coherence and cohesion. Next one, the third one, is about the lexical resources. Now, see, this is mostly misunderstood, that a vocabulary may not be paying that kind of impact or influence in writing tests. But here it is. So vocabulary doesn't mean just going ahead and gathering lots of words and you'll be writing it out here and there. No. Vocabulary means whichever words you're picking up, it should be with an importance. You have to ensure that the words that you're picking out should be relevant, appropriate, and accurate words. It's not like you just know a synonyms, so you'll be just going ahead multiple times using it without the relevancy of its existence. So you have to be very careful about how you're using the vocabulary. That's for the lexical resources. And then when we come to about the final part, okay, the final category on which you'll be judged is, of course, the grammatical range and accuracy. Now, this is the most important part for writing, if I'll call. Let's say you have a great idea, you have a great pattern of structure, and you are using fantastic words. But if grammatically all your sentences are not correct, or let's say even 50% or more are incorrect, then it's very difficult for you to achieve more than 6.5 to 7. Because in order to get a higher score, the particular examiner will be closely monitoring how well you are with your grammatical usage. Are you using the sentences with proper verb, proper noun, pronoun, adjective? Are you using it with proper sentence structure, with proper tense structure? Are they influencing in the right manner? That is how grammar is important. It should be used with the proper range and proper accuracy. If you're covering all these 4 categories, then definitely you'll be able to achieve a good score in writing. Now, let's come to the point. You have 2 tasks, and what type of tasks these will be? Let's understand them. The first task, as we talked about, that is, let's say if you're writing academic, it's going to be a graph, a chart, a diagram, anything related to academic description. Okay. Now, if you want to summarize it, 3 options. First thing, understand the graph properly. Understand the information which are mentioned there. Second, you need to go ahead and give a answer chart, like you'll be planning for your answer. So what? First, it's going to be an introduction. Once you have written an introduction, second 3 to 4 lines, you will be writing about the detailed information which is available in that particular chart. And the final, in 2 to 3 lines, you'll be giving a conclusion. This entire description is within 150 words. Now, it's not exactly within, but minimum 150 words you must be using. You can go 5 to 10% here and there. Now, second, if you're writing IELTS General and you're writing about a letter, it could be a formal letter or a semi-formal letter, could be an information letter. Let's say you're writing a letter for a tax reduction, okay, or a tax adjustment to the income tax department. So how well you're introducing yourself, how well you're writing the detailed information which you would like to inform them, and then finally your request, how well you're requesting them in a cordial manner. All these things matters, okay? Now, coming to the task 2. See, a lot of times what happens, most of the students try to practice the task 2 comparison to the task 1. But you got to understand before we leave, the task 1 holds 1/3 of your mark. Let's say out of 9, it holds 3 points that you can score. So it's equally important. You should not go ahead and ignore the task 1. Next, coming to task 2. Task 2 is about something about a viewpoint that's been given out. Let's say, as we discussed about an example, that how fossil fuel is actually influencing the climatic changes. So you have a viewpoint. You have to write an introduction. After that, in the middle part, you have to give your points, whether you're talking about for the fossil fuel or you're talking against the fossil fuel usage. However, you have to give a detailed description. I will recommend you should go for whatever your point is, you should go for 3 positive and 1 negative. Let's say you're talking in for fossil fuel. You should go for 3 points, how fossil fuel is important, how it's being used, okay? how well it can be beneficial, and how it's not impacting the climatic change. But one point you should mention about, like, what could be the constructive part which could have been changed, which can help people to use fossil fuel, as well as it will not be majorly impacting the climate change. This is just an example, okay? This is not what I'm saying, like, in truth it is. And then you have to go for the final task, as the conclusion part. In ending line or the conclusion, okay, you have to give a summary of your idea, that, okay, finally, this is exactly what you think could be helpful for the society. All right. So this is how you'll be measuring out the task 1 and task 2. And as we discussed about, that you have to ensure that you have been scored in all the categories. That's that task achievement, coherence and cohesion, or lexical resources, or grammatical range and accuracy. Overall, preparation is the key. So I will always recommend, like, whatever you do, how much time you're putting, whether it's going to be 1 hour or 2 hours in a day, 3 hours in a day, whether you're practicing yourself, you're practicing with the help of a teacher, or you're practicing with the help of other fellow students. Mostly, it's important for you to identify that where are your challenges are. Are you good with grammar? Are you good with, vocabulary? Are you good with the sentence structure? Are you good with understanding the task and writing? You need to understand it first. Once you have identified, then you need to work on the challenging parts. So first, identify your strengths and challenges, and then you need to work on the challenging parts in order to improve it. Of course, it will be taking a little bit of time. It could be a few weeks or few months in order to get to a perfection, and then you can write your IELTS writing test. Okay? So till then, see you. And I hope that you like this video and it's informative for you. So you can go ahead and click on the like button, and you can subscribe to the channel. So it'll help us out and motivate us to bring out more videos for you. And see you in the next video, which will be for speaking. Till then, take care. Bye-bye.